Topic today is going to be testosterone. Okay, so I want to go through a couple different things about testosterone. I want you to understand men and women both have testosterone, okay? Today we're primarily going to be talking about men and how important it is to keep your levels of testosterone high, okay? If you're a man out there, if you're a wife listening to this, your husband, you don't want your husband to have low levels of testosterone because that causes a whole host of problems. You know, what testosterone does is going to keep your lean body mass. It's going to increase your energy levels. It's going to help you sleep better. It's going to make you happy. It's going to give you libido and sex drive. I mean, there's so many important things that testosterone has. So men and women, you know, we all want our man or a man, you want to keep your testosterone high. And we know that around 33 to 35 years old, your testosterone is slowly going to start going down. I'm 36 years old. I don't really feel like I've felt any decrease in my testosterone. I still pretty much feel like I have, all times. But I know at some point, I'm going to start to see that testosterone start to slide, and I'm going to notice different things like, like we talked about, mood and sex drive and, body mass and energy and the way your body recovers and heals. I'm sure that stuff will start to change. But what I want you to understand is that there's therapies that you can do for this. So you can take gels and creams and, this is all testosterone replacement stuff. Pellets and injections. Some of the stuff I was reading about when you do a cream, one thing you got to be careful about is those creams, they can be transferred to your child, or they can be transferred to your wife through the sheets, through, putting the creams on you and then hugging a child, hugging a spouse, rubbing up against each other, whatever's happening, or just being inside of the sheets because you put it on right before bed and then you got in the sheets and your kids roll around in the sheets. So, if you're going to be using creams, you got to be careful of something like that. Some of the testosterone replacements, they can have side effects with them. I'm not saying that testosterone replacement is bad for everyone, right? So some people may really need to have some type of testosterone, and the risk may, they may be worth the reward of having your testosterone higher, having more energy, having more, of all the stuff that it's going to do for you. But the reason I'm doing this today is because I want you to try to get to the fact of how can I naturally boost my testosterone, right? Like, what are the lifestyle things that I can do? Because naturally what we'll see people that are, kind of have metabolic syndromes. So they're overweight, they've got diabetes, they've got cholesterol issues, they've got high blood pressure. So if I take the typical average American that's overweight and that's sedentary and that eats a really bad diet and doesn't move around a lot, is that person going to have lower or higher testosterone? Typically, they're going to have lower testosterone because it's the lifestyle factors. It's the way that you're living. It's that your body's not in alignment. It's not healing from the inside out. And so that's what you need to try to change first off. Before we ever start a therapy, a testosterone replacement therapy or anything like that, you need to start changing those lifestyle factors. So some of the things that you can change, some of the things that we can do to increase testosterone, okay, are going to be like exercise, right? So this is pretty common, right? If I do muscle building exercises, I'm going to increase my testosterone level. If I do high intensity exercising, like I sit here and I sprint for 20 seconds and then I take 20 seconds off and I sit here and I sprint for 20 seconds again, that's going to create a metabolic effect that's going to increase testosterone. It's going to lower cortisol. If I can lower cortisol, it's naturally going to let my levels of testosterone start to go up, which is a good thing. Okay, so that's one thing. You can exercise. We can get proper amounts of sleep. We can drink plenty of water. We can drink eat an alkaline diet. Get rid of inflammatory foods. Getting adjusted. This is one of the biggest things that we will see people come into our office, and men who maybe have a prostate issue, they've got low testosterone, they've got erectile dysfunction, they've got something that's happening. But what happens is the bottom part of their spine, so right here in like the lower back area, you'll have bones that have shifted or twisted, and they put pressure on nerves. And so if I put pressure on a nerve that feeds your heart's not going to function correctly. If I put pressure on a nerve that feeds your testicle, your levels of testosterone are not going to function properly. If I put pressure on a nerve that goes to your prostate, once again, the body's not in a position to heal properly, so the brain can't get communication down the spinal cord, out that nerve tissue, to that cell or tissue to really stimulate it and heal properly. So that's the first thing we check for in our office, is we see, is the spine lined up? Is it in the right position so the body can stimulate, the body can heal? If it isn't, then we start to line it up, put it back in the right position so those testosterone levels can naturally, your body can have the ability to start raising these things, start lowering cortisol, raising testosterone, doing things like that. If you want to take a supplement, some of the supplements that you can use is just use some minerals. Get back to using some basic minerals, zinc, magnesium. These are two that are great for increasing your testosterone, prostate, vascular supply, libido, all of that is good. Saw palmetto, I think I said that one right. You can use something called horny goat weed. That's a real thing. DHEA, those are some other supplements that you can use to naturally increase your testosterone. But what I want you to get out of this is before you just jump to taking injections, because once you start taking them, you've got to take them for the rest of your life. And if you were younger and you're trying to get pregnant, when you start taking injections, that can actually lower your sperm count, lower your fertility. So just think about this before you jump into taking testosterone forever, that you want to do these natural things first. Let's exhaust the wheel with those kind of things, trying to get your health to a level where it's working anyways. And then you can, if none of those things work, then you start going and trying to test these things and taking actual testosterone replacement therapy at that point, but it's because I've exhausted everything else. So, all right, take action. Don't just wait around, get started.